We are one.
We're live.
Facebook
So,
official.
What's up,
yeah.
pimps and players? It's your boy, Bro
Nope.
Fresco.
Nope, let's not.
I
So, as
Well,
far as
ladies and gentlemen.
what we've got going on this week, not a whole lot. Oh, sorry about the cancellation last week. It's actually been 2 weeks since the last Fireside, but should be back on schedule. Not like too much planned. In fact, I don't think we have anything really planned on the calendar. The only things I'm thinking of would be the Yule, Secret Odin, and also just like Yule in general. And I was gonna add something to the handbook, like a little bit about Yule and possibly like some other stuff, like Halloween, especially now since we had like Drum Bevers like a Gricker Got thing, and kind of want to make that like a yearly thing that we might kind of make that sort of like how a lot of old members remember Yule, how normally we have a lot of like events and stuff going on and people changing their names just already started to happen pretty early this year. I'm guilty of that too, but just hopped on the train for that. And I mean, technically, officially, normally we start doing about December 1st, something like that. And then we actually have like all the events right around like December 21st and whatnot, like the official day. But yeah, we'll plan on that. That's like a ways down the road. Other than that, let's see. I already mentioned Secret Odin. We've got oh, and Arian. I mean, your StarCraft tournament is ongoing. Did you want to make any?
Yeah, it's ongoing currently. Not a whole lot's happened except Varmather beating Sikaskogi and then Varmather having to drop out. I'm still looking for a teammate to replace him in 2 of the events that are going on. The StarCraft 2 2v2s, the Desert Strike 2v2s. So if anybody did not make it into the tournament but still wants to get in, let me know because I desperately need a teammate in those 2 categories. Other than that, not a lot of people have been doing matches, and I don't know if they're expecting me to schedule every single match, but it's actually up to you all, you guys who are playing. You need to message your opponent and set up a time you're going to do it. The first round of matches was supposed to be done by the end of this weekend, but that might not happen unless literally everybody does it over the next 4 days. So yeah, you're in charge of setting it up yourself, so please do that if you haven't. Let me know what the plan is as it comes up. That's it. We might have to extend the time the tournament ends, so I guess I don't know. We'll see when we get there. But yeah, that's all I got on the StarCraft tournament so far.
Alrighty, cool. Khan, I don't know if you wanted to say like a word or two, but since we've sort of got a new war band out. I mean, I think so officially, right? Like the Billius Breakers name was shelved, and now Hell's Raiders is out. But you're the Huskarl. Did you want to say a word or two about that?
mean, you pretty much explained all of it. Like, I just sort of went with the Hell's Raiders theme because I just kind of like Hell as a Norse deity, and it's I was kind of basing it off of Rainer's Raiders from StarCraft 2. So I'm thinking eventually, when I actually like get off my ass and get my StarCraft account back, it might be a League of Legends StarCraft 2 kind of warband. Yeah, we got a new flag. I don't know if it's able to be seen by everyone, but yeah.
Cool. Well, I think I've got a little bit of work to do on the forums, adding some of the berserkers as mods and stuff. But I think they should be able to post in codexes and whatnot. So at the very least, we'll get the flag up on there and everything. If people can't see it, because I'm thinking it's only visible to people in the warband, but can get it put on the forums pretty soon. I've seen it. Some other people may have seen it. I thought it was pretty cool. Let's see here. holiday themed names, I guess I'll add to that, since probably we have a lot of people that are new to WA since the last Yule, because obviously it was a year ago. And so generally, like, the old thing was on StarCraft and a lot of games, we had our clan tag, which was WA and then the hyphen and then your username, usually your Norse name. And so during like Yule season, December and whatnot, we'd add Snow SNO before WA. But it's a little bit different on Discord. Obviously, since we don't have the clan tags, but I mean, you'll probably see some people just kind of making like sort of like Yule themed puns with their name or that kind of thing. What I did is I actually just took on a new Norse name with snow in it, or you could do something related to like ice or something. Is pretty good Norse word, so is snow, that are pretty easy to work into names. Or if you want to, you could just put Snow WA in front of your name if you want to add the tag. Pretty much, I mean, I don't want to say literally anything goes, but I mean, I think just since Discord's kind of a whole new animal, I think any way people kind of want to participate in that is totally fine and pretty fun. Oh, and also avatars, of course, seeing a lot of Santa hat, various type of avatars. And yeah, so I guess you can do that now. I mean, normally we wait till like December 1st, but we've all been doing it anyway, so we're just kind of skipping Thanksgiving, I guess. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, gonna do some forum updates. I still have some stories that I kind of have been procrastinating, haven't been able to get done that I want to, starting with Origin of the Manylings, one or two others. I know some people have been talking about Marks and Uko, and I don't know if that's officers talking to people and trying to get everything caught up there, but yeah, I have not been updating Uko very much, but if people want to type up their own entries if they don't have one, or just like copy their entry and edit whatever information is out of date in it, and then just like send it to me, or like type it in the Shrine of Uko channel and ping me or whatever. And I think Soleil can edit it too. I think we both can add it pretty easily. But yeah, I put like a ton of time into Uko already, so it's not like I'm like unwilling to do it, but anything people can do to like make it a little bit easier to update entries is much appreciated. Yeah, so working on that. I think that's all I'm working on. Does anybody have any other topics, announcements they want to jump to?
Yeah, I have two.
Sure. Yeah.
First is if you are participating in Secret Odin, and I haven't messaged everybody this, but this is Bjorn's idea, and it's a pretty good one, is if you could tell the person who distributed your recipient to you, so either Kuzi or I, whoever messaged you, when you have sent the gift, that would be greatly appreciated, just so we have some sort of documentation on that. Just because, you know, things happen. So just please let one of us know once you do. And second of all, if you notice in the announcements, hopefully pretty much at the end of the month, I would like to start a new warband myself and have it be RPG themed. So that really includes multiplayer or single player RPGs, depending, you know, if you play RPGs a lot, and there just isn't really, as far as warbands go, there isn't really a space for any RPGs in WA, so I'd like to make that space. If you find yourself playing a lot of, you know, if you plan on buying like Fallout or pretty much any RPG, was like Champions of Illyria, was mentioned by some people. Even if you play like Witcher by yourself or what have you, just message me and tell me that you're interested in joining. And yeah, that's all.
Cool. Yeah, and warband applications are open to anybody as well. So if anybody else is looking to start one, you can always talk to like the officers above you as well. Or if you like don't know anything about it, you want them to like help you. I think some of the Jarls and other officers have been kind of doing that. Or talk to me. I made an announcement. I think there's information in the handbook on it too. But yeah, I think one of the things I think Solite was like the big driving force behind this, but I've kind of come around to really agree with it. Is making warbands smaller is probably a benefit, like having more warbands, just so that we don't get this thing where it's like 20, 25 people hanging around and like at least 15 of them, like nobody really talks to them, nobody knows what's going on. But if it gets down to something like 10 people-ish, something like that, then it's like everyone actually knows each other, in like the Huskarls and whatnot can actually talk to everyone in their warband and keep track of everyone and actually like know everyone basically. So I think that's probably a better number. So if anybody wants to lead one, generally you don't need to already be a berserker. That would like help your application, I guess. But at the same time, yeah, honestly, I mean, we're just kind of looking for more warbands. If anybody has ideas or wants to give it a try, so yeah, even if you like haven't led something WA before, I mean, usually we're willing to just like give you a shot. So yeah.
Do we have a current active member count anywhere?
Not really. That's actually something I'm gonna make a note of that actually, because one or two other people had asked me about that too. I might try to maintain like a whole WA roster, probably pinned somewhere and maybe on the forums too, just like compiled from all the individual rosters.
Each review board just update or something.
Yeah. I can
Like
do that.
after it's all done and said, like at the end of the week or something.
According to Discord, we have 108 members.
There you go. Well, that's a decent count. Of course, all those people should
That
be posting in roll
includes
calls at least.
Guests or
I just took the total members minus the guests.
yes, okay.
There you go.
So it's like 10, 11 warbands.
Yeah, in theory. I mean, I think even having like 8 or 9 would be like a pretty big improvement, just because yeah, I think that would, I don't know where that would put us in terms of average. I mean, you could do the math, but it would cut down on the size of most of the warbands, I think. And I don't know, I think having warbands more individualized in terms of like having like a more specific focus instead of like, oh, we play like these couple of different genres or something like that, where everyone in the warband sort of yeah, there's like they have more in common, I guess. I don't know, it's sort of all like theory, at least to me at this point, because I feel like Unsfavored and Mjolnir's both have done really well almost as long as they've existed, and neither one is like one game that literally everybody plays. I mean, I think they have like 1 or 2-ish kind of games that most people play, but mostly they all just get along really well. So I don't know, I guess we're still just kind of looking for the perfect formula, but it's sort of the direction we're trying to move in.
It's kind of not true. Unsfavored is just done good for the first like couple months. It was just an absolutely dead warband. Like no one.
It was
Like,
the meme warband.
Yeah, Numenor used it as an example of I hated Unsfavored. He called it Foldmother's Unfavored. And then basically,
Yikes.
we transferred Pedamania and a couple other people to the warband to try and help it out, and Pado's done what he's done with it, basically.
Very true, very true. Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of the warbands have been successful since the very beginning, but I guess it's just like, at this point, like we look at those, at least those two, and some of the other ones I think have been doing quite well. I know Solite's been spending a lot of time with Kvasirs, and it's definitely been some activity increasing there. Yeah, I don't mean to like badmouth the other warbands, but those are just the two that popped into my head when we were first discussing when we were first discussing warband focuses. Those were the two that I felt like were kind of the model we were trying to the prototypes we wanted to copy that kind of success with every other warband. And yeah, that's very true though. That way back in the day, I remember Uns not doing so hot, but hey, it's doing amazing now, I think, and has been for quite a while.
Never surrender.
There you go.
Just get Pedamania.
The solution.
Yeah,
Just
you're-
stop, clone
The
him.
most
You're making me
expensive item in
blush,
the
Zach.
game.
FF at 2018.
Well, did anybody have any other questions, topics?
Actually,
oh.
I do, as a matter of fact.
Sure.
Actually, Con, you and I are probably going to talk about the same thing here, bud.
Oh,
You want to talk about it, or you want me to talk about it?
I got this.
All right, I believe in you, homie.
All right, so we've been around this tournament for a while, but we're both terrible procrastinators. But it is pretty much set up so that it's gonna be like a 5v5 tourney on the 24th. I'll probably want to put an announcement in later. But basically, it's gonna be similar rules to the like either 5v5s we did before. So you can have anyone on your team like gold and lower with 1 plat or higher. And I think I'm gonna try to set up Battlefy again. I was having issues with it before, but now would be a good time to gather a team.
Cool.
There's an awkward silence there.
Well, it's kind of. I mean, I sometimes I have it happen where like there's like a pause and then I start interrupting somebody or something like that. So I like to
You-
give it a second just in case somebody was like stopped to think or something.
Got to make
Con-
sure the radio's clear, you know?
Yeah. It's
Con, you've got access to the WA Battlefy, don't you, to set it up there?
No, I do. I was trying to figure it out, and I was using like the template you guys were doing, but for some reason I couldn't like get rid of the stuff you guys posted before. And I tried
Okay.
making new stuff, and I was running into the same issue, so I was just getting annoyed with it. So I kind of left it for a bit. But yeah, either way, whether or not I have to do it manually or use Battlefy, it's still going to be happening on the 24th. So I recommend that everyone who's going to participate in the league tourney gathers their team beforehand.
Hmm.
Alrighty, cool. Well, I know, just a heads up that Rand. So we talked about how we're going to try to implement like little mini WA history lessons, or just talking about like, past events and stuff with perspectives from people who were there and that kind of thing at the end of Fireside. So we'll do that at the end. But anybody have anything else they wanted to talk about before then? Sounding like no. All right. Well, I think
I was putting batteries away.
Oh, okay. Well, I will assume we're good then. I don't know, Rand. You said you wanted to start that off. Did you want to go ahead?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
back in December in 2007, I believe this was correct me if I'm wrong, somewhere around the Third Fleet era or the second.
December
Oh,
2007
my
would be
bad.
Third Fleet.
First Empire. No, actually, it was the First Empire.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, First Empire. So this is around the time that WOA was like it was past its growing stage, and it was kind of like a lot of old members had come back, and they were recruiting a lot. And or someday in December, it's actually not documented what exact day, was Saint Santifico the Conqueror, a renowned saint that most people around here will know the name immediately upon hearing it. But something else that not a lot of people do know about was the prophecy that he came back in December and told. So I will quickly read out his prophecy real quick. Okay. Hail, mighty knight of Azer, know that I am Saint Santifico the Conqueror, guardian of our order and bane to our enemies since ancient times. Although my silence has been long, I have not abandoned my vigil, and I will watch over the warriors of Azer in years to come as I have in years past. Remember, warrior, when, as Asia crumbled under the pressure of civil war and internal struggle, it was assaulted by the mighty Anaconda, who assisted the treacherous rebellions of those days. Remember that as hope faded, our warrior king prepared an epic last stand, ready to face his end with valor and dignity. But then frail hopes were suddenly reinforced by my hand. Swiftly did I rise to battle, and deftly did I lay waste to the designs and ambitions of our foes. Retribution was rained down upon the rebels and their allies alike, and were all consumed by my conquest, as even the dreaded anaconda fell victim to my might. I speak now of the distant future, of days to come that will recall the, fla- the fading glory of old. I speak to you, warrior, of great battles and monumental victories, of epic triumph in the face of our deepest despair. I speak of the hero who is yet to come, the still unwritten legend who will dispel doubt and strife and restore hope in a time of a dire peril. In the honor of deepest need, in the hour of deepest need, the hero shall stand forward against the fall of darkness, and shall shelter all the houses of Azir with peerless might. This great advocate of our order shall be remembered forever in our I always mess this word up.
Annals.
Annals as the Hopebringer. The ascension of the Hopebringer from within the ranks of Azir shall set a fierce example to all of Midgard and usher in a new era of glory. So take heart, Knight of Azir. Fear not the challenges of so many unworthy foes, and they shall harm you not. Stand resolute in the face of destruction, for the hero will rise. And that ends the prophecy of Saint Santifico. So, one of the greatest mysteries surrounding this prophecy being who will be this hero that will emerge from the darkness to bring us back to the light. A couple of candidates have already been brought forth. Two of them not being around anymore, but were contributed to as being the Hopebringer, for they helped revitalize the clan. These two being Blade and Darkwolf. Blade being of House Blitzkrieg, correct?
Actually, House Thief.
House Thief, okay. They're the same people.
Yeah, I believe even at the time of the prophecy that Dane reposted it on the new WA forums, the 2010 ones. Blitzkrieg and Thief were already the same house, so he was a member of Family Thief in House Blitzkrieg. But technically, he is a true Thief bloodline guy.
Right. And then Darkwolf the Bold, who was of Kamander. Both of these members make great efforts to bring back their houses along with WA. And I remember back in the time, there was also other people who were being, spoken of to also being Hopebringer. One of them being Asgrima. And we see how that happened.
Crazy people be crazy. So
Yep.
what about like Iru? He recruited a crap ton.
Iru, I guess, but he was never known for leadership, more of just recruitment.
No, he
To
was
my
just kind
knowledge.
of there. I don't think he ever led.
I don't think he got past warrant officer ever, if I recall. Well, no, he ate like LT Junior or something, doesn't he?
He was TO.
I think Kuzi is the Hopebringer.
Whoa,
you
not
go.
a paid shill.
And and also it's debated whether or not that this Hopebringer specifically will come from a House Deputy in the Night Order, or back then was it the Lothal Order, right?
No, that was Deputy.
Yeah, it's the White Knights. So the House Deputy is also called the House of Laudalage because it comes from that original house. Is sort of it descends at that time. When the idea of houses came out, they weren't even based on lineage, but that name was used. But the guy who led it and the people who were in it, they would have been in House Deputy if they were in the clan today. So it's sort of the claim descent from that. So that's where the use of that word kind of comes from.
Right. So like I said, Santifico himself said that this hero should come from House Deputy. I can think of a couple candidates that he might be referring to in the past. Some being Puck, maybe even Rodsiger himself, who was the person who received the prophecy from Santifico. And there, I guess it's not the point of this should not be who is it, although it's a really great mystery for us to kind of talk about and try to figure out if there was someone in the past who fit the description. What I like to apply this to is not just one person, but to everyone. I think all of us was who this prophecy was really meant for. Each and every person who has put in time, effort, and just some, just really applied yourself to WA and to bring it back to what you want to see it. I think each and every one of us here right now has a little bit of greatness in us that a lot of us have been trying to bring out. And I really appreciate all of the effort and time that a lot of people here have put into WA. And I think there's a little bit of hope bringer in all of us. I think everyone can form or mold WA into greatness.
I
And that's
agree.
my
Careful, I might develop a crush.
that's my hot take on the prophecy of Saint Vigo.
Awesome. I was excited when you said that you were gonna pick that. It's a great choice. I think it's like, I mean, I'd have to read through like the whole Bayonetta again to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. But I feel like it's kind of a unique piece because it's just this like open-ended thing. You know, it's something I was like super hyped about when I had like just joined the clan, kind of. And just because you don't really know what he's talking about, it's just something he said. So it's really fun to kind of get your imagination running with it and kind of think about it. Always make some kind of you can make some kind of spicy prediction on who you think it is or something. I don't know. I think it's a cool thing.
I think it was definitely meant to be inspiring for everybody.
Yeah, I think I agree with that for sure.
I'm just glad Rodsiger took the time to carefully write down his words and to make sure that we still have it to this day. Because something like this, like I remember back then, it could have easily just been, not saved, not, codexed or anything. Like this could have been completely undone to us, forever, just because one person decided, yeah, that was cool. Thanks for telling me that. I'm gonna go play a game now. you know, I feel like there's more than likely there's been some stuff in the past also like this that have happened that we may not even know about.
Yeah, I mean it's true. It's like we're constantly losing information in history. Every second, technically, because you can't really perfectly recreate a given cross section of time. However many years later. But it's cool what we do have, and I think going back through the forums and finding some of the extremely old stuff we have, and as WA just continues to get older and older, it just becomes, even cooler that we're still around, and then also the information we have. I mean, personally, I'm just sort of a WA history nerd, and I just find it fun that we can even do research on our own gaming clan. Like you can go back and you're trying to like figure out, oh, what does this mean, or like digging through like old charts and stuff like that. I think is a ton of fun.
I my take on this is it's sort of kind of along the lines of there's a little uh little of that in everyone, but it's sort of something to aspire to, just in your daily um lives or in your daily WA interactions or whatever. you know uh, you don't just do everything. You don't just game. You do a little of everything. You help out, you do whatever. um it kind of reminds me of the respect, responsibility, resolve um lines from Warrior. These sorts of things in general, there are time and a place, right? And there's also a person who said them, right? So you could connect it to a person, a time and a place, what was going on. And it also reflects what was going on at that time, like in the greater clan, right? And lends to the character of the clan. What was needed at the time, right? What are we trying to do, uh with officers, with line members, with whatever the struggles of the day were. Was it good recruiting, bad recruiting, whatever context it was set in. It shows you where we've come from, what we've done. I really think it's just cool to reflect, and it just like I said, lends to the character of the clan in general. If nothing else, it's a cool flavor piece. You know, you can just think about. You know, maybe take something from it that day. Who knows?
All right, and so for the next 15-minute lecture, I will be picking an officer at random, giving them a topic to lecture about at the next fireside meeting.
Ooh, the randomizer.
Has this been sanctioned? Have we cleared you for this? Do we need to pre-screen these topics? I mean, we can't have bad propaganda out there.
Ooh.
Oh, we
yeah.
can have bad propaganda out there.
No, I'll just go into the thread and edit it to make me look good, like before the lecture starts.
I can create some propaganda. I'm just saying, all right. I'm really,
we know,
really
Manny.
good at
We know.
propaganda. Yeah. What can I say? Causing chaos and political dissent is kind of my thing. It's fun.
Yeah, I think we know.
The sad thing is, I'm not even referencing the Catgirl insurrection.
Anyway,
It wasn't an insurrection.
Then why'd you bring it up?
It was not an insurrection.
Then what was it, Rand?
Infestation.
Okay, I think we're probably all set in this fireside. So, anybody have anything else they wanted to questions or announcements or anything real quick before we finish up?
Full. You picking publicly, or are you gonna whisper it to them? I mean, are you gonna give them a topic too? Like, how are we doing this?
But you said fold.
Yeah, fold. What's your
said
plan?
fold. He meant
sorry,
Rand.
looking at the wrong name. Rand. Yeah.
Fold's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your plan, fold? Come on.
Rand, what do you? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm interested in Fold's plans now. You got me a little hyped.
They will be publicly announced as so they cannot decline, or else they will be publicly ridiculed.
Oh my goodness.
The target.
This is like church, like all over
This
again.
is gonna stress me the fuck out.
Church to Electric Boogaloo.
No,
we just replaced the batteries, says Jesus.
How are you
whoever
doing
is
it, Rand,
picked.
then?
Go
I will
ahead.
be messaging them, DMing.
Well,
Will you do it before Fireside?
Yeah. I mean, I announced that I was doing this and the all thing like
Oh, okay,
long
okay.
ago.
I thought you were just gonna be like, hey, by the way, so and so's gonna talk.
No, that'd be a
And-
disaster.
Because I was gonna be like, bro.
I'm sure someone could improv something.
I'll always have something available for emergencies. You know, I have
Like-
an infinite supply of WA lectures.
I would like to defer to the High King for my lecture.
Yeah. Like, I know shit, just I can't, like, have everything fucking memorized, you know?
You need a PowerPoint, and then I'll put it up on the stream.
Keynotes.
Almost, actually. My memory is just shit, man. There's only so much I can hold in there.
Stop doing the drugs.
It's not even the drug.
It's not the drugs.
If your memory is full of shit there, brother, maybe you should clear it out.
He's not a Kilroy, though.
Yeah, but he's a Sindar. Basically the same thing.
Wow.
Alright.
Why you throwing shade at the Kilroys?
I'll assume we're all done here, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you everyone watching the VOD or watching live. And thank you guys for showing up. See you next
Bye.
week.